God is moving. It's Young People Nation.
Welcome to Young People Nation. Listen to us weekly as we commit to bring transparency, healing, and truth to the everyday situations in life that might bring you down. Join us for your weekly dose of inspiration. Thank you for listening to Young People Nation. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And now, here's your host, Eugene and Donna Perry.
Let's go. Christ is the foundation. Know his word gon' lead us. Know I'm already going. Taking steps I believe in. Giving guidance to the youth. Giving guidance to the lost. Giving the world to the project. Lead them back to the cross.
Welcome back, and welcome back. We just thank you all for tuning in to Young People Nation. And we're in our fourth and final session, but not her last time being here.
That's right.
With Miss Tiffany Hodge, a licensed master social worker. And what I love about Miss Hodge is she is so dedicated to bringing healing to the community. Welcome back, Miss Hodge.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here again.
And in our fourth session, we're going to be talking about self-esteem boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm learning and what I have absorbed from all of this is it starts with you.
Absolutely.
Me,
Mm-hmm.
as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
So let's unpack this about self-esteem boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we teach people how to treat us, right?
Correct.
Our lives start with us. How have you counseled individuals with low self-esteem?
I'm excited to be back. Thank you all once again.
Thank
you.
you.
It's a pleasure
Thanks for having me.
to be on you
Good.
guys' podcast. So I'm just humbled to be here.
Thank you.
Self-esteem, when I'm working with individuals that present low self-esteem, when they come to me to talk, usually we start with working on what your strengths are.
Mm-hmm.
When you're working with someone with low self-esteem, they really don't believe they have any because they haven't taken the time within themselves
Okay.
to build that. Self-esteem is something that you build.
Okay.
And you start building it fairly young with children. Children learn how to self-engage and self-encourage themselves and building that self-esteem, being confident, if you will.
Okay.
That's something that we're taught fairly young, and then we get older and older and older, and it should continue to grow.
Okay.
But a lot of times what happens is we get around people and it starts to be diminished. We start people pleasing, and so that those types of things, being manipulated, those types of things can actually help decrease our self-esteem. Usually when I work with people, we also do gratitude exercises. What are you thankful for as it relates to you? Challenging those negative thoughts. A lot of it is just how we think. We teach our children stinking thinking, trying to get rid of that.
Yes.
Challenging those things that maybe someone has said to us in childhood that linger with us. That's why words do hurt and they carry. And those triggers, those things can trigger us to be in a space where we start to lose confidence. Because that's all self-esteem is, really.
Yes.
Just your confidence in yourself. Working on those boundaries, working on what that line is for you. This is where I am. This is my values. This is my morals. And I'm going to stick to that because, again, your boundaries are for you and they're set to protect you. And practicing self-compassion, giving yourself some grace, show yourself some mercy. We don't know everything. And we are going to make mistakes.
Yes.
And that's okay.
Yes.
And but give yourself some grace in that, and just try to redirect or redefine or reimagine what that mistake was.
Yes.
And how can I be better at it the next go round? So that compassion is always trying to teach people that it's okay. You don't have to be perfect. Perfection is an illusion. In a human form, if you will. And visualization exercises, we often talk about what would it look like if you thought this way. So sometimes people are visual. So imagine what that looks like. Imagine if you had high self-esteem. Imagine if you could say no. Imagine what would that look like. And you can draw on that with people, teaching them how to put it in their mind, get it in their psyche, and then actually play it out, and then go and push it out in the community. And so we do a lot of work with visualization when it comes to that.
That's why it's important for parents to be mindful of the words they speak over their children.
Absolutely.
You know, be mindful of that, especially that child keeps hearing you're hard-headed, you're not going to, you're a failure, you're not going to do this and this and this, and then they grow up with that in them. That's right,
because you've planted that seed there, and that's what's going to grow because you put it there. And so, like, I have a very active child.
Okay.
We don't call him bad.
Yes.
Because he's not. He's not bad. You know, he's just active.
Yes.
And so what do we do with that active child? You know, sitting down is not going to help him.
That's correct.
So we have to engage him in something more constructive. And so therefore, now he's building that self-esteem in that way that he can be expressive on that end and not be torn down in his development of self-esteem, if that makes sense.
That's good. And you shared about that, how you put him in an exercise where he can exert that energy.
Lord. Yeah, he's in gymnastics.
Yes.
Right.
But see, that's good.
Right.
You didn't minimize how he's naturally built.
Right. And he is just an active person.
Yes. That's okay.
Yeah, and that's okay. We just don't want him flipping on my couch.
Yes.
So and we know he's not going to stop.
Yes.
Right? Because that's who he is innately.
Yes.
So what do? We try to foster him or feed him going that way.
Yes.
Until he's like, okay, I'm done with all this energy. I don't want to do this anymore. But guess what? In him going to gymnastics, he's built self-confidence. He's talking more. He's calming down more because he has an outlet to where he can be himself.
That's good.
Others see him.
Yes.
And it's not as he's just being bad. No, he's doing what he is innately born to do.
That's good.
Over there in the right area.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
And parents and anyone else that's listening out there, you've got to tap into how they are naturally built.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I can identify with all that because when I was growing up and all, I was 100 pounds in the first grade, no front teeth, and I stuttered.
Mm-hmm.
And they made a fact of me. My father did. Like I would say, Dad picked me up. He said, "No, you're too fat."
Mm-hmm.
And I had a complex about gaining weight right from the jump. And then when I talked and all, I had to really calm myself down because every third word I would stutter.
Mm-hmm.
So it was communication there.
Right.
And so growing up like that, it was like I didn't want no speeches. I didn't want to read out loud.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to really talk to nobody because I couldn't hold a conversation without stuttering.
Right.
And when you get made fun of like that, you have a complex.
Exactly.
So I had all that.
Yeah.
But look at
you now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the grace of God.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
8 years of marriage.
Yeah.
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 That's
yes.
awesome.
Always encouraging him.
Always.
Always encouraging him. And because if he would have never told me that story when we first started dating, I would have never known that.
Right.
Because that was not what was exemplified. I just shared with y'all what was exemplified. So that wasn't what was exemplified. But and I always thank him for sharing those nuggets.
Yes.
Back to where you were saying in the emotional boundary, just tap back over there a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's shared some things that was intimate with him.
Right.
So I cherish that, and I don't just take it for granted.
Right. You don't use it as a weapon.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
You
place
use it
of
as
comfort.
a builder.
Yes.
You're building
yes,
him.
Yes.
And look at him now on the microphone. Check 1, check 2.
There you go. Yes. And when I see a person or even with my children, my husband, anyone that I encounter, to me it's about building a person.
Absolutely.
Even before having a conversation, let me talk about the great things about you.
Absolutely.
Let me shine on that, and not just come at you all the negativity.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. It makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
And how you value yourself. Again, that right there, that's powerful. That people know if you value yourself because it's your verbiage. If you're always talking down about yourself, then even in joking, I don't think you're joking really.
No, you're not.
You really feel that way about
Correct.
yourself.
You do.
And so
It's an outlet.
Right.
It's an outlet.
The joke is the outlet.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
It's like a protection.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a defense mechanism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna laugh at it first.
Before you laugh at me.
Before you laugh at me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat you to the punch. And
So-
so it's a defense mechanism.
Is that kind of a
Sabotaging.
self-sabotage?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So do you really like yourself?
No.
Okay.
No, you don't know yourself at that point.
Okay.
Yeah. And you want to be validated by people. And so, I'm going to beat you to the joke before you beat me to the joke because we all know what the joke is.
Okay.
And I am not comfortable enough to where I have worked on that. And so instead of you hurting me and inflicting more pain on me, I'm going to do it to myself.
I'm gonna put myself out there.
Right. And
A
so
perfect example though is comedians. Comedians have a big
Yeah, they
thing
do.
that they make the jokes and all, but in private they cry.
yeah, absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
and can lead to other things with them hurting themselves
Yep.
because they are making jokes and all for other people laughing and all and making to their own self expense. But then in the private part, they be a nervous wreck.
Absolutely.
And sometimes the people we're looking to be validated by,
Right.
they don't even have the capabilities themselves.
Right.
We're kind of having that false expectation of an audience that they don't have it.
Right. And that's why I always try to be very transparent. I know sometimes in my profession, we supposed to have these boundaries where we aren't supposed to really build a rapport in a relationship with clients as far as self-exposure of what we are. But I think I always want people to know that I'm human. And there are some areas in my life that may be beneficial that can help them through. So that's why sharing is so important sometimes. Especially when you're dealing with someone who does not have any self-esteem, like it is zero. And there are a lot of people that are walking around with zero self-esteem, looking for codependency for someone to validate them. And that's really what that low self-esteem looks like. You're looking for anybody to say a kind word to you, to show you some type of attention, any type of affection. And it doesn't matter if it's negative or positive, it's something. Because you haven't built that self-esteem or earlier when you were a child, it just wasn't cultivated in you at that point. You didn't know how to build it because no one actually said anything kind to you. And a lot of times it's not even that. It could just be in life. You're looking for someone to do something for you that you truly are required to do for yourself. Self-esteem is your job. It is not the job of the world to inspire you. Sorry, folks, it's just not.
Yes.
That is your job. You should be inspiring yourself.
So we make a choice. I was fortunate I didn't grow up with abuse.
Right.
However, just listening to some loved ones that have grown up with verbal abuse, we make a decision whether we allow that to carry on into our adulthood.
Yeah, it's a choice. We
Okay.
all have a story.
Yes.
Everybody, this fantasy thing isn't real. But what needs to happen is when you hit a certain age, it is now your choice. You are required as a person to build your self-esteem, to build your boundaries, to build your encouragement, and surround yourself with people that are going to help you build that. It is your job to build yourself. It is nobody else's job. As a child, they're accountable for what they did and did not say to you. But once you hit adulthood, it's on you now. Game is on because you have a choice. You didn't have a choice as a kid what they said to you. But you have a choice now to say, yes, I'm going to deal with this and that. No, I'm not that. I am more than a conqueror. I am not a failure.
Yes.
I can do this. I am strong.
Yes.
I have good listening skills. I can make a great decision.
Yes.
I can pay my bills on time.
Yes.
Yeah, I will go to work.
Yes.
I will provide for my children. I will learn how to be emotionally supportive. I will understand what a healthy relationship looks like because now it is my choice.
That's good. And with the help of God, you're able to accomplish
Absolutely.
all those things.
Absolutely.
Because you are not defined from where you came from.
Absolutely.
That's not who you are.
No. If people knew where I came from, they wouldn't believe me.
You have shared with us, and I was like, wow, okay. And to see you, yes, you've made some amazing decisions.
Yes.
And it shows.
Thank you.
But the people that you hang around too, because I know Kevin Hart often says that he's trying to discipline his child. And, Kevin Hart is extremely short. So Shaq, when he come in like that, and he's trying to discipline his child, then Shaq walks in and pick him up like a little boy and do presses with him and then put him back down. He say, I'm the adult. You come in and from a child like that, and it look like I'm a little kid. It's people you hang around. You got to respect their
absolutely.
elders.
Yes, that's right. Also, because we're getting towards the end here, we know that God loves us, but sometimes you don't feel that way because of life. How does an individual build themselves back to a mental self-care that they are loved?
That's a great question. First, you got to acknowledge that you're not in a good place. Mm-hmm. Being honest with yourself, back to what Papa Perry has been saying since we've started these sessions. Mm-hmm. Knowing that being honest, I'm not in a good place, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. Understand that everybody's not going to understand where you are, but you need to understand how you got there.
Okay,
that's your job.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
you got to do the work. It's just that simple.
That's your word. Do the work.
Do the work.
Yes,
and it's okay to say that I'm not in a good space. Questioning ourselves on how we got here and what we can do to get back on track. Again, just that self-reflection. I'm big on self-reflection because that's how you can correct. And then after a while, the more you do it, the more you'll start auto-correcting because it's now become a habit. Right. And you've put it in your mind. The body does what the mind commands.
Yes.
Okay. And so when I understand that my mind is the power behind what I'm doing, my body has no choice but to submit. Okay. But I have to put it there.
Yes.
Right. My body doesn't tell my mind what to do.
My mind tells
my mind tells my body what to do. And it will work accordingly.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Love is a knowing. You gotta know. You gotta stand on what you know is true, not about what I feel. Feelings are flighty. We have to have them. God gave them to us so we can connect. That's how we connect on emotional. But however, I got to know that this is what love is and this is what love is not. A great thing is now that you're an adult, you get a chance to redefine that. Because what was love, what you thought love was as a child, may not be what love should be for you now. And you have a beautiful chance to redefine that. Feelings are important. Just keep them. Just know that we don't ignore them, but challenge them. If my feelings and my knowledge don't match up, then something's off balance, and I need to spend some time questioning what is it that is causing me to feel this way. Because it's going against what I know to be true. Okay. But here it is. That's where you spend quality time with yourself to even get a chance to answer that question.
Yes.
It's quality time that you have to spend with yourself in order to answer that.
That's the key time.
Last thing was Frederick Douglass always stated, he said, it is easier to build stronger children than it is to repair a broken man. So take some time to build yourself up, build your children up, build up your community, and just know that it's easier if we do what needs to be done. Watch your mouth.
That's good right there. Watch your words.
Watch your words. Not only the words that you speak over others, but the words that you speak over your own life.
That's right.
But my goodness. Once you're broken, you just like Humpty Dumpty. You can't be put together.
It takes
takes God.
Yeah.
Put you back together.
And people will walk right past you.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And then you mad.
Yeah. But you broke yourself. You broke yourself.
Yep.
Yes.
Because you allowed your boundaries to be violated.
Wow. Well, these 4 sessions on boundaries have been amazing. They have been amazing, and I am so grateful to have Miss Tiffany Hodge in my life.
Oh, thank you.
Because she has really helped us on boundaries, even before these sessions.
Oh, yeah.
So we like to always give out our emergency hotline, 988, that's 24/7. Text home to 741-741 and 1-800-950-6264. That's 1-800-950-6264. NAMI. So, Mr. Perry,
Well, you need to take that time to find out, are you living or just existing? And this is the Young People Nation. And remember, there's always hope.
Let's go. Christ is the foundation. Know His word gon' lead us. Know I'm already going. Taking steps I believe in. Giving guidance to the youth. Giving guidance to the lost. Give the world to the project. Lead them back to the cross. He the number one prospect. He the top boss. I was broke, I was empty. He the one that paid the cost. Really thought that I was cool. There was nothing like the Savior. Now it's time for the truth. The whole world been waiting. It's Young People Nation. 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 The whole world been waiting. Whatever you going through, I know what He gonna do. Don't matter the circumstance, we going back to the root. Keep going, keep going. Let that seed keep growing. You need peace and we know it. Now it's time to live holy. Young People Nation. You know what time it is. Young People Nation. Get ready, the time is here. Get ready, we vibing here. We about to let God in here. Young People Nation. It's Young People Nation. Yeah, do it for the heavens, you know where we going. Influenced by His love, you know we gotta show it. It's time to put the youth onto what God is doing. Cause I can tell you now, right now, that God is moving. It's Young People Nation.